Welcome back to the channel, you kooks. Today we are going to do a step-by-step video on how to build your own cabinets in your van. You're going to get nice professional looks just like we achieved here, just out of your own garage. So let's get straight into it. This is going to be an easy step-by-step video getting you from basically plywood to cabinets. So we're going to show you step-by-step how to build cabinets. Easy, straightforward way. And if you like this content, we have tons more in our Vankookz Vanconversion Masterclass, breaking down each of these steps, step by step, into multiple different modules. This is just kind of a step-by-step overview. So if you enjoy this content, you'll really enjoy the masterclass. But we're just going to get straight into it. The first step we're going to do is we're just going to plan our layout, draw it all out, kind of get the vision board onto paper, and then start from there. The first thing we need to do is draw out a layout and get our dreams onto paper, drawing out how we want our cabinets to look, where we want them to be, getting in the van, and physically feeling where they are going to be, then measuring them out, making all our cuts. We make all the cuts here with a straight edge tool. This will help you get clean results. Also, we use a small portable table saw. Once you get all your sides cut, you'll cut your sides first, getting into the van, placing them where you want them to be. Then you'll start to take measurements here for all your headers, footers, and mid-rail supports. I like to use plywood and strip it down for my headers, rails, and mid-rails. Then we get the chop saw and cut them to length. Then we go in with our Kookz jig and drill pocket holes for all of our headers and rails to attach to our sides. We'll jig all the boards and then they'll look something like this. This is what a pocket hole jig looks like. And then we will attach all of our headers, our rails, and our mid rails. And we go into depth into all of this in our masterclass, step by step, also giving you directions on how to attach the mid rails. But we do these into the sides with our pocket holes, as well as fastening to the floor, all the sides, and the back as well. So once we have one side assembled, we can start working on the other side, just following our layout and how we want our cabinet arranged. We start taking our measurements for our mid rails, headers, and footers on the other side, chopping them with the table saw, using our Kookz jig to drill our pocket holes, and then essentially piecing it all together, also using a speed square to keep everything level and square. And then this here we added a back, so we cut once again with our straight edge tool and added in the back and stained the sides of the cabinets as well, also attaching our supports to the sides of the cabinets, and we even added in a little material here for drawer sliders. So once you have all your mid rails, headers, footers all attached, your cabinet should start coming to life, and you should have a nice frame of your cabinet all well constructed. Now we're going to build face frames. The face frames just slide over the cabinet frames and make them look nice, and hides all the plywood that you can see here. Face frames take a little bit of time kind of getting the measurements down. So first we draw our layouts, get our measurements, get our cut list going, taking all this information, and then planning a layout with the face frames takes a little bit of time. Essentially just getting all your measurements down first. Here's just a basic face frame layout. We went to Home Depot actually and found hardwood here. So we found an 1.5 inch oak hardwood ready for paint and stain. So we just bought this and took it back home and built our face frames out of this. So once you have your cut list ready, you'll just take it to the chop saw and make all of your cuts for your stiles and your rails, which are your sides and your tops of your face frames. Then you'll go back to the Kookz jig, Kookz all of your boards, and then start assembling your face frame. This might take a bit of time. You might have to go in and out of the van, building kind of part of the face frame first, taking it inside, laying it out, see how it looks, seeing how your cuts look, and then maybe adding in another piece, and then taking it back to the shop and assembling it. Face frames take a bit of time to assemble, but just kind of taking time, getting all your measurements down, and then once you assemble it, you'll have this frame, and then you're just going to sand it and paint it. These were paint grade, but we still like to sand them, get the sharp edges off, because these boards are sharp, so rounding the edges a little bit with the sander too, and then staining them and then sliding them into place. And then we attach these with the 18 gauge brad nail gun, And we only put about 8 to 10 screws in this. It doesn't take much to hold these in place. You should have a nice snug fit, and you should really be stoked with your results here. Now we're going to install all of our drawer slides. We're going to do this by installing the screws here on the outer edge of this tab here. You can see a little bit better in this detailed shot. The screw goes on the edge. This allows our drawers to flex a bit if our cabinets are just a little bit out of square. And then on the sides where the face frames stick out a bit, we need to add a piece of material. Here we needed 3/4 inch piece added against the side so our drawer slides could essentially be in place and then slide open and not bump up into the face frame. Now we are going to build our drawers. We did this by using a 9-ply pre-finished Russian birch. First we cut them down to height, and then we go inside, we grab a piece of the material, we measure from rail to rail, and this gives us the measurements of our fronts because the fronts get sandwiched by our drawer slides. Then we go in and we cut each drawer side and front to length, and then we start to assemble our drawers using a square, using an 18 gauge brad nail gun. We piece together the drawers using wood glue as well and brad nails to attach the sides and also the top, and then just repeating this for as many drawers as you need. We used a 1/4 inch pre-finished Russian birch for the top as well. Once your drawers are assembled, you're going to go ahead and put them in the van, take them in place, and now we're going to start measuring out for our drawer fronts. So back to the drawing board, back to your straight edge tool, and also back to cutting the drawer fronts out on our table saw. We'll cut each individual drawer front out, and then we will take it and add edge tape and edge banding to it. So this just covers up the plywood edge and gives our drawers a nice finish. We go into a lot of depth into how to get professional looks in our masterclass, but just looking how the edge tape covers that edge. Now we will paint the drawers. While the paint dries, because some of this paint takes forever to dry, at this moment you can make a template for your countertop. So just starting with some scrap wood, making a template with all the skills we teach you in the masterclass, and then cutting the countertop out with a jigsaw or a skill saw, and then staining it, and then cutting out the area for your sink, installing your sink into place. I like to install the sink first into the actual countertop because it's really tough to work back behind in such a tight van, then installing the sink into place. Getting all the components in, attaching your cabinet from the bottom underneath up, and now we can go back to painting our drawer fronts. So sanding as many times as you need and painting as many times as you need until you get the desired finish. We go into more depth in our masterclass on how to install different types of hinges, but now we'll just go into the van and start to piece it all together. So the door fronts are installed, the drawer fronts are installed, the drawers are in. Your cabinet should be looking amazing at this point. Now we will install all of the latches. So latches just to help keep the doors from flying open as we drive, all of our hinges, and also any struts. Lots of times on upper cabinets we install these struts. So great job, you kooks. Your cabinet should be looking awesome. You should have really professional and amazing looking cabinets, and we hope this video was helpful. Like and subscribe. Also check out our Vanconversion Masterclass at vankookz.com if this was helpful to you. This masterclass is a wealth of information, over 50 videos, 3 ebooks, tons of information and time put into this, and I think it will help you just make your van life easier. I wish I had this when I built my first van. So we will see you kooks in the next video. Like and subscribe. Adios.